The streets are quiet, too quiet. Shadows crawl. The dead stirs. And then there's Shaun. He's just popping down to the corner store for a cornetto. This is Shaun of the Dead. Horror, comedy, blood snack? Or are they just trying to get to the Winchester for a nice pint? Here on Retrowatch, we're doing Zombie Month. Here on the Winter Wolf's Den.
This is the final entry into Zombie Month, right? Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. Close it out.
I think we saved the strongest of all of these for last, to be honest. I think this is the one that I know the best. I think I've probably seen this more times, maybe even than Dawn of the Dead 2004. I'm pretty sure I've seen this at least a dozen times. It's good.
This was my second time seeing it.
Really? Only two? That surprises me. That surprises me.
And the first time wasn't even that long ago.
Really?
Yeah.
That double surprises me. I'd have figured you'd have been a theatrical guy like this. I'm pretty sure I even saw this in theater twice. When it came out forever. When did this come out? It's been a hot minute. This is like a
20 years ago.
Yeah. This is like an easy 2005.
Four.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, they just celebrated they had a release last year for the 20th anniversary of the release of this. Because this was Nick Frost's first movie ever.
Yeah. Yep. And he's just one of those guys, I think, that like he's naturally charismatic. So when he gets together with his buddy Simon Pegg and they bring on another writer, director, Edgar Wright, good stuff happens when you put talented people together, as we've stated over and over again.
Yeah, they were working on this for a little while together, trying to get something to make it and have fun.
If I remember right, I remember seeing clips on like a making of thing, and they were talking about how this evolved out of like a short idea that they had, and they might have even fired off like not like a student film, but an indie film. It was a much tighter, more controlled story that didn't involve multiple locations. Things were just basically the two buddies, what they would do in a zombie apocalypse kind of story, because that's pretty much all this is.
A lot of actors do that. They get in shorts and stuff like that just to practice their craft and like get stuff for their reel that they can send out to get jobs and agents and stuff like that. So they would come up with shorts and stuff like that. We have an actor out here, his name's Alec, where he does like a monthly type thing where he gets actors together and they shoot a short to just work on different genres and looks and stuff like that. He's a talented director, talented actor. So it's some good stuff. I got to work on his last one. So
yeah, this I can see where Shaun of the Dead evolved from something like that, because right from the get-go, like if you put this title in front of anybody that's been around the genre, you automatically know what you're getting, right?
Yep.
You automatically know zombies, obviously, because of the dead. But you also, I think that the horror comedy part of it is just kind of implied in the name, because it's such a goofy name. It's such a goofy take on Dawn of the Dead that you're probably in store for a couple of laughs on top of maybe a couple jump scares, maybe some blood and guts. Who knows? You don't really know, but the dark comedy is implied. And I think that really delivers on that premise.
And it's also like a coming out movie. Like Simon Pegg wasn't a household name when this came out.
Right. Or no, none of these guys were. I don't think any of these guys really were.
Well, there was a couple of the other older British actors, like
his dad for sure.
Bill Nighy, yeah. Lucy Davis, she was a household name at the time. So a few of them, she's been in The Doctor. She was on a couple of their TV shows.
Who was she in Shaun of the Dead? Give me a visual reference.
The one of the friends. Denise or Denise?
I don't know. Denise. I don't know. The girl who opened the window like an idiot and ran outside after Dav. After David.
Dav.
Moron. After fake Harry Potter. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I like this movie because the plot is simple. It's what does the average Joe Schmo do to survive the apocalypse? It's get the girlfriend, get your mom, go to the bar and lock it down. Like, it's stupid, but it's so accessible in terms of the goofy factor that I love it just for that.
Well, the first plan was get the car, get the mom, go to the girlfriend's house, have a cup of tea, and wait for this all to pass over. And then
That
it was
didn't
like,
work.
but wait, I want to go somewhere I can smoke.
Right. Update.
Yeah, update the plan.
There's a good shot selection in that scene too. I think this movie isn't just a laugh a second kind of thing. It's very cleverly done. There's a lot of intention put into how they shoot things. There's a lot of kinetic camera work, like he's in those quick cuts and those kind of scenes you were just talking about, like where he's raffling off the various steps of the plan. It's like boom, boom, and here we are, and like that's it. It's. I feel like things don't go like that in movies anymore, dude. I feel like there's a lot of jumping and whiplash and shit that doesn't make sense. But
And
this is all very
intentional. It fits their type of filmmaking. If you watch the whole Cornetto trilogy, which is Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and then At World's End, they have those type of like same type of shot thing.
It's
setups in it.
It's one flavor.
The only one that was really, and like a lot of technicians talked about this, they show what they do in this movie in a lot of film schools, especially for camera operators and steady cam operators, is that oneer they do where he's walked into the corner store and then do the exact same thing the next day after the zombie apocalypse. Yeah.
Dude, I love that shot because it really feels like you're just his buddy walking behind him as he's just got his head down, doesn't see the world. He's on such. Let's just talk about Shaun, right? Because it kind of that scene does more heavy lifting, character building for him than any exposition they could have done. He's a dude in his mid-20s whose life is just stalled. He can't make a move. He doesn't know what he wants to be when he grows up and he's pushing 30. So everything he does is on autopilot. He lives with his college buddies in a single family that they all split. His girlfriend is like, she's ready to move on from him because she's trying to go places.
Well, she's trying to move on in life.
That's what I'm saying. She's trying to like literally move on and go places, do things.
Yeah.
And all he
wants him to come along.
Dude, she loves him. She does. But all he can do is literally the zombie shuffle and put one foot in front of the other, head down, looking through. He's on autopilot to the corner store to buy a soda and an ice cream or whatever it was, and then shuffle back home to his do-nothing retail job where he sits on the couch, until it's ready to work. He's trying to play some Tekken 2 until 3 a.m. Wasn't that awesome? Mm-hmm. That was 10 years ago, Shaun. Like that's him. And I think a lot of guys that go see this movie, if you were about that same age and maybe you're in a very similar place in life, you just know what that feels like to be stuck. It sucks, So I think that it automatically grounds you in liking Shaun, and I think that's one of the strongest parts of the movie is they nailed the main character.
Yeah, and one of the things is his sidekick, his best buddy, Ed, who is that friend who refuses to move on
outright.
Outright. He's just that friend who in one way is holding you back, but you're so loyal, and he's like he always has your back type thing. You don't want to let him go, but if you do cut him loose, you might become something, but there's just something in you that doesn't want to let go of that part of your life either.
And you could even really argue that Ed's the realest character in the movie. Like he knows he's a fuck up. He's satisfied where he is.
Never wants to be anything else other than where he's at.
Right.
Selling weed, even though he doesn't have any.
So he brings a bit of money into the apartment. He sells weed every now and again. It's pretty funny. But you juxtapose Ed with the a-hole roommate whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. Peter, who's where Shaun probably thinks he wants to be. He wants to wear a suit and tie to work and not just like a name pin and like a corporate. Look at me, I wear a white shirt and a black tie or whatever. You know what I mean? He wants to be Peter. Peter's got his shit together. He's got a car. He's got an entry-level career gig. But he's a dick. But he's objectively grown up where the other two guys haven't. You know what I mean? So it's very much Shaun's in the middle of those two. And they play that off really well. The other thing that really makes Shaun of the Dead really hit for me is not only do you get Shaun, you like him because he's got the lovable loser thing on lock. Like that's undisputable, right? But he's got a bunch of great relationships with other characters that you like for different reasons in this movie, not just Ed. Everybody's had that relationship with Liz. You know what I mean? People know what that relationship feels like. He's got a great relationship with his mom. I think that's solid stuff too. He's got a very begrudging this friction with stepdad Phil, and Phil's death scene in the movie, destroyed every time I watch it, because this movie does the Scrubs thing that I talk about a lot. It's a comedy until it isn't, you see, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, who told this movie it could punch me in my balls? I don't remember signing on for that, but it does. It does that like 2 or 3 times. But I think it's the relationships that make Shaun of the Dead great, because I don't think those kind of character stories exist in things like the other things we watch, like Dawn of the Dead, or even because these are all great. Dawn of the Dead, Train to Busan's an exception that had banger relationships in it, so that's in this kid. But Zombieland, that's kind of thin. You don't really get into the deep weeds character relationship wise. Like Omaha. No, wait, is it Omaha?
Yeah,
Omaha and Tallahassee, like they're bros, but neither one of them is ever really in peril, so you don't ever get the impression.
Columbus, Omaha's one of the girls.
The Columbus, that's what I meant. The bros.
Yeah,
so the relationships aren't as well thought out or as well drawn out. But here in Shaun of the Dead, everybody he interacts with, he's got a deep situation with. Like, he's got a rivalry with Davs for Liz. She obviously picked Shaun. He knows. They bump into that other crew that's trying to survive, and they're going the other way,
and they look like exactly the same.
Of them. Yeah,
a vet. That was at the vet.
Yvette, yep. You know what I mean? So it's Shaun's a real person that has real relationships with people, so you automatically just accept all the wackiness that happens in this situation. You're like, yeah, but they're all real though, so it works.
No, it was a really great story. Funny is that. Is this your life? Do you just want to go to the Winchester every night? And then he's like, I got a plan during this reservation. And he's like, do you want to go to the Winchester? Which it actually breaks up his relationship. And then they end up going to the Winchester as their safety plan.
We say that like Gotham or Metropolis are characters in their movies. The Winchester pub 100% is a character in this movie. Like it's the bane of his existence. It's his salvation. It's so many different things.
It's that place where everybody knows your name.
But it's not. But you don't want them to. That's the thing. Like, you get the impression that like it is like the diviest dive that you could go to. But if you're happy there, you're happy there. You're probably not going to get stabbed, which is nice. That's a good feeling in a bar.
In a lot of villages in England, I lived there for 2.5 years. Yeah. The pub is like the center point of the town. So that's your local restaurant. That's where you go to drink. That's where you go to play play darts. That's where the bands are going. Like, we had this one band who showed up it was called the White Horse, was our pub that was just down the street from my house. Yeah. And they had a band that always played there called 404 Error.
IT joke.
So it's like the center of everything. So like each neighborhood has its pub, or they might have 1 or 2 different pubs, but because they live in London or a suburb of London, they have like better restaurants and stuff like that. So you don't really have that village life that you have in England. So the pub isn't that center, but it's still so ingrained into British life. Is going down to the local pub and getting a pint or 2 and hanging out with everybody. That's like the community center. That's where you see all the people. Like they're always there. Well,
you see all the people that they made up like the names and backstories for, which was like Snake Lips? Yeah. And the bar owner and his wife, and you get the village backstory that the gun above the bar isn't loaded, and you get all these other little beats. You mentioned the Cornetto trilogy a few minutes ago when we got started there. Let us know in the comments, guys, which of those 3 movies is your favorite. Is it Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, or At World's End? I think for me, it's definitely Shaun of the Dead. And they all have a zombie vibe in their own way. Like the second one's obviously like the greater good cult vibe. And then the third one's like AI, alien, robot, zombie vibe. But I think for me, it's definitely Shaun of the Dead, because when the zombie stuff happens, like, they don't pull punches with the blood and guts here. I mean, there's not a lot, but they don't pull punches when it happens. When Dad gets his ripped in half thing, it's very Day of the Dead, choke on him, they yank him in half. There's some good blood and guts here. Did you think that was enough? Did you need more, or was it well balanced against the
I think it was well balanced. I don't think it really needed it, because that's not the focus of this of this movie. I mean,
they wanted the comedy, right? They wanted the giggle.
It was all for the comedy. Yeah, it wasn't for the zombie part of it. The zombie was just the trigger mechanism. Kind of like someone told me when you're writing in different genres, you can do any genre you want in another genre. Like fantasy is a great base for brand new writers because in fantasy you can do all of it. You can do whatever you want. You can do military, you can do adventure, you can do travel log, you could do romance. I mean, the
literally anything.
Gambit's open.
Biggest sandbox. Sandbox for sure.
So like the zombie is just pretty much the background, even though I love the part where he like runs and he has to wait for them to catch up to lure them away. Apparently zombies are really slow.
We were talking about sight gags a little while before the show and how they just don't exist anymore. One of the best sight gags in this one is when the group is creeping towards the Winchester and they know there are zombies between them and the street and the bar. So Shaun, like, he crawls up the ladder of a child's slide. It's like 3 little mini steps and he comes back down real slow. It's like a lot. Like, just how they shoot that scene is hysterical to me every time. Or when he's trying to fend off another zombie with I don't know the name. What's that kid's game where it's like a tetherball? He's trying to bonk the zombie with the tetherball, but then the girl's like, no, you gotta stab him with the actual ball.
Yeah. He's like, bad choice. He's just like,
right. There's a lot of stuff like that. Like at the very beginning when him and Ed are like flinging records and like household dishes at the zombie and shit, and like nothing's doing
they're
anything.
Going through the records and he was like, this,
no, keep it,
Dire Straits.
Throw it. That's the first album I bought. Yeah, there's a lot of funny moments in the movie here, and it shifts gears very well into the more important stuff when they get into the bar and they lock it down, when containment is ultimately breached, like what happens in every zombie movie where they lock a space down and have safety for a little while. It gets real emotional, intense as the movie wraps up. We say goodbye to just about everybody in the group except Shaun and Liz.
Yeah, it's on random.
That's on random. I love that. I love that. They do a callback that I love. Ed's got the recurring gag of he just rips stankies whenever he wants and it makes Shaun laugh.
I'm sorry,
Shaun. As he's dying. He said, "No, it's okay, Ed." No, Shaun, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
He's like,
oh. I stopped doing it when you stopped laughing.
I'm not laughing. And then but he's choking up as he's saying, "I'm not laughing." And you're like, "Oh, dude, it was funny." And now I'm bawling. Like, what's going on here? But dude, that's how Shaun of the Dead rolls, dude. We should probably just watch it. Instead of just talking about it, it would be easier to talk, like do like a mystery science over it, because I could literally talk over every scene because I enjoy it that much.
So we've talked about it and we've gushed over. What would you say would be the downfalls of this movie?
Dude, I've been honestly since we did our playlist, like we did our batting order for this segment, for this group of movies like a month ago, right? I've been thinking for a month. Honestly, I don't know that I have any. I put it through a pacing lens because I hate when stuff drags in the middle. This doesn't, because once it gets going, it goes. I like all the characters. I even like the annoying characters like Dabs and his stepdad. I love his mom, but we all love Barbara. That's a little Ed joke there. The physical comedy is on point. The sight gags are on point. The performances, like, does anybody feel like they mail it in? No.
I don't think anyone mailed it in. I do think some of it was a little stiff.
Well, but it's British. So, I mean, do you allow for that? You know what I mean? Like,
I mostly want to say is Dav. Dav was just he was a little off.
Dude, I don't see the point of owning a car in London. Like, because he's a dick. That's what he does. Who's got transport? I don't have a car.
I never called her a failed actress.
Right.
But he didn't ever say he didn't call him a dick.
Yep. That's what I mean. Like, I think that some characters are just written to be stupid
but I just think he was just a little stiff. That was
the actual delivery of what he was supposed to do. Okay, maybe I might be able to see that, but I thought everybody else was great. So I mean, nothing's perfect, but I mean, this is probably as close to like a 4.5, 5 out of 5 that I would give anything we've ever watched, that we've ever talked about on the channel. It's right up there. This is an easy rewatch, start to finish. This is an easy pick it up from the middle. If it happens to be on, like, if God forbid, if anybody has cable TV left and stuff's already on, this is an easy rewatch every time.
And you did a appearance of Bilbo Baggins. Martin Freeman's in there.
Where is he?
He's Declan. He's the boyfriend of Yvette.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's just crossing over. Like I'm like, do you even have any lines? I don't think he spoke. He might have said hello.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. And then I mean, if I had to, if all right, here's the nittiest of nitpick. The exact end of the movie when Shaun and Liz take the freight elevator up back to street level and the army shows up and guns shit down. Like every zombie movie on the planet ends that way if the good guys win. Like this is the army always rolls into town and just bulldogs, swarms of zombies, and like we're good.
Unless it's the Battle of Yonkers.
Right, unless it's that or any 28 days version of anything, like the army just routinely gets pantsed. So I mean, there's that. But yeah, I think that yeah, Shaun of the Dead. Go watch it, guys. Don't listen. Don't take my word for it. Go check out Shaun of the Dead. And if King Z doesn't have anything else to say, we'll check you guys in the next one. Thanks for being here.
I think that wraps up Zombie Month for us. Keep looking for our theme months as we drop our theme months, not mumps, but months.
We get the mumps
as we do different ones. Last year in November, we did a Salute to the Soldiers month. We had a fantasy month. Now we've had Zombie month. And next month, I think the month of October, which is the peak of spooky season, we might be doing a couple more horror movie type retro watches, especially one that starts off on October 1st for the first time on streaming on Peacock. So I'm not going to hint at the movie, but just know that we might be doing that one first.
Making a hard push for that one. All right. I see what you're doing. All right. Roll my music. Get me out of here.
All right.